Hello everyone and welcome back to the Love Wreck Legacy Challenge. We are jumping right back into high school as Malia kind of gets ready for her day. She goes to her locker and freshens up a bit. She's fixated on her hair. It's her first time she ever had straight hair like this that Camilla had convinced her to do. And Camilla absolutely loved it. She was certain that this would get Malia's crush to notice her. And Malia, well, believed her and trusted and hoped the same. And that's when Camilla said that there was a Halloween party after school and they had to go. And of course, Malia wasn't going to say no. And so after school, they agreed to get ready at Camilla's house. I hope you guys enjoy that little montage. A lot happened at that Halloween party. As the girls were partying, they were drinking a little bit, and Camilla met Isaiah and seemed to get a fancy on him. Of course, Malia caught them and was heartbroken, though she couldn't blame Camilla as much as she wanted to, when the host of the party, James Paris, seemed to get a little bit of a crush on Malia. Now, with the next day, Malia was excited. She wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. Were her and James going to become an actual couple? Were they going to just be friends? And when she got the text asking her to maybe hang out after school, well, Malia was more than happy to. As she walked the halls, she saw Isaiah and well, part of her felt bad, and without even thinking, she made a post on Social Bunny, trash talking about how horrible of a friend Isaiah actually was. And so she sat down at the cafeteria, seeing James, and started talking to him. James asked, "Is everything okay? You seem a little down." And Malia started telling him about, well, Isaiah kind of broke a promise to me, and Camilla didn't really follow girl code, and James lost interest right away, just getting up and leaving as soon as the bell rang. Malia was hoping that maybe, just maybe, it was just because he really wanted to get to math class instead of her ramblings. And when lunch came by, James saved a seat for her and they sat and started to talk. And well, it seemed that her fears of her ramblings was true. Her and James didn't have almost anything in common. He was a snob and didn't really care for Malia's interest. She liked him a lot, that's why they hung out at the party. But even when she asked him to go cloud gazing, he wasn't interested. And she was wondering, what would their hangout afterwards be like? And with that school bell, they went off and sat down at the thrift store. And James seemed nicer. He was a lot more interested in Malia now that it was just the two of them. Malia realized how easy it was to talk with him and how sweet he was. He was acting like a real gentleman with her. And, well, her crush for him was starting to grow a little bit. She was genuinely thinking that she could fall in love with him. But part of Malia wondered, why was he only nice to her when, well, it was just the two of them? Why wasn't he like this at school? That next morning, Malia felt more in her head. She was wondering if maybe she should talk with James a little bit more, kind of figure out their placement. She didn't want to assume that they were boyfriend and girlfriend already, but I mean, they had gone on a date, they had been talking and seeing each other, and well, Malia wanted there to be more, and she wasn't sure if it was selfish of her to ask. As she got into school, went to her locker, grabbed her books, she felt she wasn't exactly there. Her head was spinning, and when she sat down to complete her exams, she didn't even realize the paper was in front of her. And when the school bell rang, she realized she didn't even write her name. And Malia knew that she definitely failed her exams. Once school ended, Malia went off to her drama club. They were having a play and the family all attended, even Aleki, and that helped with her, feeling of self-doubt. So she texted James asking him to hang out, and James ignored her. So Malia tried again, saying, let's just go as friends, and that's when he agreed. Malia felt a little silly having to ask him twice, but as soon as they sat down on the picnic table and started yapping away, it changed. He was nice again and sweet, and the flirting just kept on going, and everything felt okay until it didn't. All of a sudden, Malia made a joke about them getting together. James went quiet. He didn't answer. He just sat there and stared at her, and Malia wondered, what could she have possibly have done to make him like this? At the Halloween party, it was nothing like this. At school, he ignored her. But when they went off to their tea date, it was fine. Malia was beginning to wonder what James actually was like. And so she took him over to the carnival just right next to the park. And they decided to see maybe if their relationship belonged in a different place. And they woohooed in the spooky carts. That next morning, Malia sat down next to her mom for breakfast and told her, hey, I'm gonna go out to maybe talk with like Elijah or something, hang out with them, it's the weekend, yippee! And Ryu just kind of rolled her eyes and laughed. She trusted her daughter wholeheartedly, but there was something going on with Malia and Ryu knew. But when Malia met up with Elijah at the beach, all of her worries just disappeared. Elijah was kind and calm, and he always wanted to listen and take care of Malia, and Malia absolutely loved it. He was the best friend anyone could ask for. So she needed his opinion. Elijah, what do you think about James? And Elijah kind of looked shocked for a second. The guy we had the Halloween party with? I mean he's cool, but I don't know, he's kind of like a narcissist. He's very like self-absorbed. And Malia just kind of froze for a second. He was right, completely. And she just didn't want him to be. She liked him maybe a little too much for her own good. So she said, thanks, Elijah. I think me and James are kind of like over. We went on a date the other day and it didn't go too good. And Elijah disagreed, wished her good luck, and well, Malia needed someone else's opinion. So she sat down with Camilla and asked her, what do you think about James? And Camilla started giggling. Oh my god, I knew you had a crush on him. You were like swooning all over him at the party. He's so cool. I like him a lot. He hosts really good parties. We should become better friends with him. Maybe he'll invite us to more. And Malia just kind of looked at her. Camilla wasn't really asking about how her relationship with James was going. She just wanted more parties. It was a slight shell shock compared to what Elijah had just shown her. Was this really the type of friendship she wanted with Camilla? But then Malia felt guilty saying that. This was her best friend now. The person that she wanted to spend as much time with as possible. And so Malia texted James, said we have to see each other. And they went to the bar in Solani. And Malia didn't know where to start. So she took him to a quiet bench to talk. And they did. She asked how his day was and then said, I think we should just be friends. When all of a sudden James erupted. He started shouting at her, yelling at her, saying how could she just break off their agreement. Their arguments became worse and worse when all of a sudden James stood up and they started to fight. Physically fight. Malia was so surprised. She was so terrified. But one swell punch and James fell down. And all of a sudden he starts apologizing, saying, I'm so sorry. And Malia just is trying to walk away when James pulls her back in with another punch. Malia is so confused, but she beats him away and, well, she declares him as her enemy. And just like that, her relationship with James is over. And she didn't expect it to go so downhill so quickly. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and you have a nice day. Bye!